He's like, Christian, thank you, bro. I appreciate it. You're a real OG. I'm like, and he's like, but I don't really know what to do with it. And I'm like, dude, I don't know what to do with it either. Let me go ahead. I'm gonna ask somebody that I trust. I'm gonna trust my mom, right? And my mom, what she would tell me, and Edwin in this case, is be like, Edwin, put it in the bank. Bank is the safest bet to do.
Safest bet.
Now, obviously, let's say Edwin takes it to the bank now, and let's say they give him 3%. Obviously, no bank's gonna give you 3% because that's just not gonna happen. But let's say in this case, for simplicity's sake, they give him 3%. So
Okay.
the rule of 72, pretty much what it states is it says if you divide your interest rate into 72, the answer is the number of years it'll take for your money to double, right?
Mhm.
So Edwin, if you could do 72 divided by 3 for me, what would that
It
be?
is 24.
24. So that means every 24 years your money's doubling. It's a pretty long time, right? That's more than half your life.
Of course.
It's older than me. So in 24 years you'll have what, Edwin?
If it's double, 20.
20, right? And if you want your money to double again, how long do you have to wait?
Another 20.
Another 24
So
years.
48 years.
So in 48 years, how old are you gonna be, Edwin?
30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 79.
79. You're gonna have a whopping 40,000.
Yeah, it's
You
terrible.
think you can retire at that time?
No, I can't.
Obviously not. So now let's say I give my next 10,000 to Moses, and Moses is like, Christian, dude, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I saw what happened to Edwin. I don't want that to happen to me. So let me go ahead and I'm gonna sweet talk my way through the bank.
Okay.
And he ended up doing that, and they said, dude, Moses, put in a CD, man.
Okay.
CD. Not in a player, right? Not in a player. But into a certificate of deposit. So, and a certificate of deposit, they'll probably give you a little bit better than what banks are giving, which is less than 1%. So maybe you might get 2. But let's say this time they give you 6.
Mm-hmm.
So Moses, can you do 72 divided by 6?
12?
12?
12, I think.
So now that means in 12 years you'll have 20,000, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
If you want your money to double again, how long do you have to wait?
Now 12.
Other
12?
12?
All right, Moses.
12, 12, 12, 12.
So since 6 is double than 3, right?
Yeah.
So by mathematically, if it's double the rate of return, what do you think you should have?
About 80.
80, because it's double 40,000, right?
Yeah.
See, but this is compound interest we're talking about. So compound interest works completely different. So you think it's 40 just because it's double, or you think it's 80 because it's double, but in reality, you got 160.
Okay.
Why? Because your doubling periods are more. You have more time.
Yeah.
Right? So 160 obviously is better than 40, but is it
Yeah.
still enough to retire on? Probably not.
No.
No.
Definitely not. 100% not.
Right.
Mm.
So, Boris, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Alright, Boris. I'm feeling generous, and you're my favorite, so I'm gonna give you my last 10,000, right?
You're too nice.
Too much sauce.
Right. So Boris is like, dude, I saw what happened to Moses. I saw what happened to Edwin. I don't like it. So next thing you know, he runs into a Primerica representative, right?
Mm-hmm.
Primerica representatives teaches him how to save, how to invest, how to diversify his portfolio, and they teach him how to get a rate of return of 12%, which is very doable when you know how to manage your investments, right? And you know where you put them now. So Boris, can you do 72 divided by 12?
72 divided by 12, 6.
6. So that means every 6 years your money's doubling, right?
Yeah.
So Boris, how old are you gonna be in 48 years?
Do I want to do the math? I don't know. 40 years?
In 48 years. Huh?
48?
Yeah, in 48 years. How old are you gonna be?
71.
71. All right, Boris, take a wild guess and tell me how much you think you might have.
He's gonna be 40.
Yeah, 1.5.
I'm sorry?
He said 1.5.
I'll say 1.5.
1.5. Now, obviously, since your money's doubling in every 6 years, you have more time, more doubling periods, right? So, again, it's the power of compound interest. Compound interest is the most powerful force in the universe, and that's something that's quoted by Albert Einstein, right?
Yeah,
Albert Einstein. So, in reality, you got 2.5 mil. Way better than 160, way better than 40. Now, why is that? It's because every 6 years your money's doubling. See, and that's just the game. That's just the game of money. See, and the game of money is just like any other game. If you don't know the rules, how do you expect to win? You just can't. It's not gonna happen, right? And who would benefit from learning this rule? Obviously, everybody. See, I know. In many people's case, they would. If I was to tell them this rule right now, they'd be like, "Dude, where were you 30, 40 years ago? I wasn't even born."
Right.
Right. So, shouldn't we have learned this in school? Most definitely. Right. So, and without introducing us to everybody else, how would they learn the rules then?
Right.
Simple answer is they won't.
Right. Damn. Okay, go try, bro. Yes. No sweat. You just straight killed. God damn it, Chris.
That was textbook, Christian. Textbook.
Holy crap,
Textbook.
bro. That was. Bro, that was great. That was great. So see, that's how you gotta master the presentation. Once you master the presentation in that way, this business becomes so simple, so easy. Becomes so simple. But guess what? You have to practice it many, many times in order for you to get there. You have to be willing to be bad first before you can be good, before you can become excellent. But in order to be bad, like, you have to just give it a shot. You're going to be bad. That's okay. Even with massive practice, and I promise you, I'm a preparation freak.
I know. When I first did this presentation, I know I was sweating and I was stuttering.
Yeah, stuttering, sweating. It was cold in the room.
It was cold in the room, and I was the only one that's sweating.
Yeah.
And I was like, today, Junior.
You're right. But I'm telling you guys, when I went, even because I'm a preparation freak, I like preparing in all sorts of areas because I tend to overthink a lot. But even with a lot of preparation, on my first client, I was sweating. I was kind of tripping on words, and at the end I was like, "Do you have questions?" They're like, "No, we're good." I was like, "Okay, thank you," and I left. And then later I talked to them. They were like, "Weren't you supposed to give us some life insurance? Like we were kind of looking for that." And I was like, "Oh, my bad. Okay, let me go back." But literally I just left. Why? I was just so nervous. And when I first started presenting in front of people, oh man, like I remember I had a golf ball. And I would just be throwing it everywhere as I'm talking because I needed to do something with my hands. I learned to keep myself still over time. But it took time. It took time. But guess what? I was like, man, even this is one of the first things that I genuinely said that came out as a joke. But I genuinely meant it because I was so nervous. I was like, hey guys, if by the end of this presentation or during it I pass out, just please drag me out and continue, And everybody laughed. And I was like, inside I was like, I'm pretty serious. Like, if I pass out, bro, just drag me out and just continue it, Just pretend like it never happened. But you're gonna have anxiety, man. You're gonna have to face it. The best way to do it is just to confront it and face it and do it.
Feel the fear, do it anyways.
Yeah, feel the fear and do it anyways. So we're gonna have somebody else come up here, please. Katie, come up here. Katie. Hey, woo! Come up here. Come up here. We'll listen too. We're gonna do it together. Come on, man. I'll help.
Oh, you want one?
So foul.
Quick.
I did it last time.
I know you did well.
No, I did not.
Yeah, you did. You did well. You got this. Anyways, so. Okay, Katie. So Rule 72. Explain that to us. Enlighten us. What is it? Here, you can have the cookie too, because you are the man. You're the boss.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Her Majesty.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'll help you with whatever you can. So, but I'm here. I'm here for you. I'm just saying. I'm your net.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead.
The rule of 72 is basically to determine how long it takes for your money to double.
Okay. Good. Mm-hmm. Go ahead. So what it is a simple math equation. Come over here. Get closer.
Oh, shoot.
Right here. Yeah. There you go. So what it is a simple math equation.
Mm-hmm.
That if you take you can look it up and you can get the long one in Google. But what it boils down to is 72 divided by whatever interest rate your money's getting is how long in years your money takes to double. So, okay, so this money takes to double. So what else? Go ahead. So if you had like, for example, $30,000 in that briefcase right there, and you're feeling generous, right? So give that example. Go ahead.
Okay, so if I had $30,000 and I'm feeling generous, I might just hand out 10,000 to you, 10,000 to you, 10,000 to Chris, Moses.
Yeah.
Moses.
Yeah.
And add one.
Okay, great. Now you can pick them. You can pick them as you go. Kind of get people interactive. It's just like who want it, and most people is like who doesn't want free money? I mean everybody wants free money. I mean why not? So yeah, it's like if who won the first 10,000, you have several people raising their hands, and you go from there. So after that, then you tell them, okay, whoever you are, let's say you don't know their name, what is your name, and then ask them. It's like, okay, let's say you have a bank account, and it gives you 3%, 72 divided by 3, and you ask them to do the math. You do that. So go ahead. So let's say you give it to Moses.
Moses.
Yes.
Once I give you those $10,000, where would you automatically think to put your money?
In my savings account. What else?
Yeah. Or what would your parents tell you? Because what would our parents tell us?
Go to the bank.
Yeah, exactly.
En el banco viejo.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so let's say your bank is feeling generous of giving you a 3% rate
Rate of return.
rate of return. Normally banks give like 0.1%.
Yeah, or less.
But your bank is feeling generous.
Mhm.
So how long do you think your money would take to double? Could you divide 72? No, wait. Divided by 3? 72 divided by 3?
It is, I think, 24.
Yeah, so your money would take 24 years to double.
Okay.
And now
Dude, that's
you have
older
to
than
wait
you.
another-
Isn't it?
I'm just about 24.
Yeah. It's a long time.
So you would have to wait another 24 years for your money to double, and that would be 48 years. And how much money do you think that would be then?
Well, if it's double 20, then obviously it's
48.
double.
Oh, 40.
And do you think that is enough to retire with?
Nah, it'll probably last me about a year or so.
Yeah, that's about right. Actually, less than a year.
Probably just a few
Probably.
months.
Yeah.
Sounds about right. Now you, Chris,
Hey.
let's say your bank, even more generous.
And the CD, what a CD is a certificate of deposit. That's what the banks offer usually. They're not giving that even. They're like the maximum, for example, Apple Federal Credit Union, my bank, the maximum they're giving is 3%, and you have to have it for. It's a little.
No, Suntrust is only giving 1.5.
Yeah. So it's 3%, and you have to have it there for 10 years.
Yeah.
10 years.
Yeah.
10 years, guys. 10 years. You want that. 10 years in order for that to happen. But
That's crazy.
let's say you get one that you find the best CD
Mm-hmm.
certificate. You remember this? It stands for certificate of deposit. Yeah, certificate of deposit. So when I first heard that, I was like a CD player, CD ROM. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
But a certificate of deposit.
Mm-hmm.
Jokingly, people call it certificate of depreciation because it sucks. But
That's a good one.
so say that. So go ahead. So you say you put in a CD, okay, certificate of deposit for the sake of the example.
Mm-hmm. So you put your money, your 10,000 in the CD. Now divide 72 by 6, and how long do you think your money would take to double?
12.
Yeah. Now how old would you be in 48 years?
48 years, I'm gonna be 60. 68? 68? Something like 60 something.
Really old.
Yeah, just
Okay.
old.
Wrinkly.
So
Frankly.
since this was 3% and that's 6%, you would automatically assume that your money would just be double that.
That's good. I thought you missed that. Good. Man, Katie, damn, man, good job, man, for give it up for Katie, man. She's doing so well right now. Damn. Like, I honestly thought you were going to forget that point, and I almost stopped you to tell you, hey, remember this, but you already okay. Damn, all right, good shit, man, good job. All right, go ahead.
Alright, so how much do you think your money would be by the end of the 48
If it's
years?
double, 80,000.
Not true.
Compound interest, yeah.
Because of compound interest,
I guess
your
she
money
is.
would, since it's doubling every 12 years, it is compounding. And it'll be 1,600, no,
Yeah.
$160,000. Now, Edwin,
Hey. What's
you
up?
got my last 1,000,
Good. Okay.
and you met someone from Primerica, and they're over here helping you how to double your money.
Okay.
So now, divide 72 by 12.
6. Sorry,
Right.
60 years.
Every 6 years, your money would double its value and just compound. And by 48 years, how much do you think you would have?
In 48 years, I think I will have half a mil. That's the most common answer here. 300, half a mil.
That's good.
That's very good.
That's a good.
That's a good number, yeah. I mean, half a mil.
I can
Why
retire
not?
with that.
I would not be mad at that.
Yeah, but no, your money would come down to 2.5 mil
Oh, okay. Damn.
since it's compounding every 6
I
years.
was 2 million off then. Damn. All right.
Since it compounds every 6 years.
Power of compound interest.
Mm-hmm. How do you win a game if you don't know the rules?
You don't.
Can't.
Exactly.
It's not possible.
Make
Who
yourself
would
look a fool.
benefit from learning this rule?
Everybody.
Everyone. Shouldn't we have learned this rule in school?
100%.
Without introducing us to family and friends, how would they learn the rule of 72?
They wouldn't.
They would not.
Just can't.
Great. All right. Good job. Damn. Good job, man. You killed it. I think the only thing that I would say is volume.
Yeah.
That's it. The volume. Outside of that, you got the concepts. That was great.
Thank you, thank you.
So you did way better than the first time. But see, you progressively get better. That's it. That's really how you do it. You become aware of it, you adjust, and you do it. Nothing to it, guys, other than that. You adjust, you do it, and you do it again. Oh, I messed up this part, do it again. That's how I got good at this presentation. Not even this presentation, but at the regular presentation, I will record myself in the mirror, and I'll be like, man, that was so cringe. Like, why is my face looking like that? You know, why am I making that expression? You know, like, what is wrong with me?
Making yourself look a fool.
Yeah, and so then I will look at it. Okay, now I gotta fix it. So then I will look myself. So I'll record myself again, and I was like, damn, did I really just sound like that, man? You know, when you hear your voices, like when you're leaving a voicemail, you swear you're sounding so good. You're like, hey man, just please call me. Especially if you're leaving it to your significant other. He's like, hey baby girl, you know what I'm saying? And then you re-listen to your voice. You're like, hey baby girl, like that. Do I sound like that? Damn, you know. But you're not aware of it until you actually do it. So I adjusted it and I fixed it. And I did that so often to the point that I was like, damn man, I'll buy from me. This sounded great. I'll buy from me. And you gotta get to that same point too. You gotta get to that point where you're like, you know what, damn, I'm so good that I'll buy from me. This is great. I overcame my objections. I did everything. This is great. I'll buy from you, right? So you gotta get to that point. But you do that only how? Through practice and repetition. That's the only way that you're gonna get it done. Practice and repetition, guys. So good job. I'm freaking proud of you guys, man. Chris, you took this thing like nothing. Katie, I mean, damn, you were so good. Y'all ready? You know what, man? Y'all should present next week. I should be in the audience. Like,
Come sit with me. You'll be
for real,
loving
like,
it.
I should just be sitting there with you. Like, oh, damn, you guys do it better than I do. All right, awesome. So, the last thing that I'm gonna go over with you guys, I think this guy's not gonna come through. He probably got stuck at the shop. He is a general manager for the shop. The whole thing, he closes it. He has to clean it and all that stuff. So he was probably running late.
Like a mechanic shop?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's probably did that.
Yeah.
Usually that's how it works.
I mean, yesterday he came through at 8:30. He said because I have to clean up everything, I gotta make sure everything's good. It's like 8:30 is probably one of the soonest. And I was like, can you make it by 7:30 today? He's like, nah, I'm gonna try my best. But obviously he's not here, so so it is what it is. So now the other part that you got to become pretty good at is explaining the cash flow quadrants.
Ooh, can I go first?
So take notes on this, okay? All right, because you're gonna present this too next time. I'll call on one of you guys because you guys are gonna be here in person next time. So make sure you study this because it's really simple to explain. I'll explain it first, then I'll have Chris do it. But it just kind of goes to show you how the society we live in, which is a capitalistic society. So if you understand the rules of how this country makes money, then now you can decide where you make your money, right? So this is called the cash flow quadrant. We live in a capitalistic society, so this is the 4 legal ways. Now understand when I say legal, 4 legal ways to earn money in the United States. 4 legal ways. So if you try to get creative outside of this, just don't get caught up, but for the most part, this is just 4 legal ways. So the first one is an employee. So an employee gets paid on the position, not the person. Let me say that again. It gets paid the position, not the person. So let's say we all start working somewhere where we all start for $15 an hour. Let's say I'm the laziest person working there. Has anybody here worked with a lazy person?
All the time.
Yes. And if you're not raising your hand, you were probably the one. But everybody pretty much has worked with somebody like that, right? Now imagine you putting in so much work and you get paid exactly the same as that individual. Is that fair to you?
No.
No. Honestly, it's not. But at the end of the day, you signed up for it, so then again, it is fair. But that's not the point. At the end of the day, it's what gets paid is a position, not the person. One perfect example that I always love giving is teachers. We all know teachers that we remember their names, we know who they are because they made a significant impact on how we think and how we learn. Right? I still remember Mr. Fubler from middle school, Mr. Fenchel from high school, and Mr. Desire from high school. Because they taught me about life and they really cared for their students. Now imagine teachers that really care and the teachers that don't, because there's a lot of those. I forgot most of them already. See, if they've been at the same time, same tenure, same experience, same everything, guess what? They get paid what? The same. The same. Right? The same. Which sucks for the teachers that actually care. So, well, what else can you do outside of that? There's something called self-employed. Self-employed is people that own their job. Dentists, lawyers, real estate agents, salespeople. All of those individuals own what they do. Dash drivers, Uber drivers, what else? I don't know, Lyft. All those, guess what? Self-employed. So being self-employed means that at the end of the day, you're trading your own time for money. But you decide where you go to work, when you go to work, how hard you work, how many hours you work, and when you don't, which is a way better position to be than here. But you're still trading your own personal time for money. So if you're not doing Uber, if you're not out there giving people rides, how much money are you making? Zero. Right? Zero. If you're not out there dashing, putting miles and damage to your car, how much money are you really making? Zero. Right? So you personally have to put in the work to get it done. One of the perfect examples I always love giving is also real estate. A lot of people are familiar with real estate. Some people are like, oh yeah, I'm thinking about getting into real estate without even knowing. Like, man, it's crazy, but like I had this guy that's like, oh, I have these connections for real estate and this, and I got an uncle that's in construction and a cousin that kind of knows about it. And I was like, and those are your connections?
Solid.
I was like,
Solid.
good job. But so real estate. So let's say this was a brokerage. I'm a broker, and all you guys are agents. Let's say I have 30 agents, but and then you pick somebody random. By the way, you say, let's say let's say you, Chris. You're the best agent I have.
Right.
The absolute best. You sell houses like hotcakes, like bam, 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 right? You're so good at selling houses. However, let's say you get sick for 2-3 months. How many houses are you selling?
None.
None. We'll say you go on vacation for 2-3 months with your family. How many houses are you selling?
None.
None, right? So where's your income at?
0.
0. So, see, if you're not selling houses, guess what? You ain't eating.
Nope.
But flip the script though. Let's say you're the broker now. You got 30 agents. I'm your best agent. You get sick and you're literally in quarantine where you can't go do anything. You can't even Zoom because you're literally in bed rest. So you're not even well enough to Zoom. Are your 30 agents still selling houses?
Of course.
Absolutely. So are you still making money?
Yeah. Tons of it.
Absolutely. That's the difference between these guys and these guys. These guys have people that work for you, work their system. They have a system that works despite of them. This is the reason why franchise owners usually are never at the franchise that they own. Unless it's a small mom and pop, place that they buy and they take over, then the owners are usually there. But for the most part, for big time franchises, the owner is usually never there, but makes the most. He has a system. That's what he owns. A system. That's what he owns. Where he has other people working with them and for them. Right? So, for example, the guy that's supposed to be here, his uncle owns his other uncle owns several of those places. Think his uncle there is closing the shop and making sure that everything is clean and all that?
Nope.
No, he has him doing it. Which is the reason he's not here. I promise you, this guy's pretty excited. He would have been here if he could. But he has him do it. His uncle is having him do it. His uncle has several locations. So see, that's the difference between these guys and these guys. And who's gonna always make more money?
The business
Long
owner.
term. The business owner.
Yep.
And then investors, when you have money working for you, the good thing about money is that it doesn't lie to you. It never comes in late. It's never jealous. It's never in its feelings. And if you invest it right, it comes back with friends. Yeah. So what would you rather be, the left side or the right side?
The right side.
The right side. But what do you think the vast majority of people are?
Left side.
Left side. They're in the upper left. They're right here. Unfortunately. This side. So, a lot of them are here.
Wasn't like 90% of them.
Yeah, like 80-90% of them are here. On the employee side, right? And most people get you're so caught up with this mentality that it's hard for them to see anything else outside of that.
Yep.
And it was hard for me. My parents were always employees. My friends were always employees. So guess what? I thought that this was the only way to make money here. Then I found out that it's not. There's so many other ways to make money outside of illegal ways. So many legal ways to make money. And employees definitely at the bottom of the totem pole. Like literally at the bottom of the totem pole.
Picking up scraps.
Yeah. Picking up scraps. Oh, I think he's here now. He's coming in pretty late. But anyways, so at the end of the day, guys, you're always going to have a choice, especially in America. You're going to have a choice of what you want to do and what you want to get done. Because at the end of the day, you choose. You literally choose where you stand. You choose to be in any of these. You can choose that. Now, is it harder to be in this side of the quadrant than this one? Absolutely.
Of course.
I'm not gonna lie to you. It's American business. It's one of the toughest things that you can get into, which is why not a lot of people make it. But is it worth it though?
Yes.
Absolutely. This is where all the freedom is. This is literally where all the freedom is. It's all here, in this side of the quadrant, right? So at the end of the day, for everybody in the Zoom world, like I was mentioning to you guys, how's it going, my mans? For everybody in the Zoom world, it's so important to understand this, man, because at the end of the day, not only are you gonna explain this to others, but it's just a really good concept. You can sit up here somewhere. Over there. Whatever. So it's just a very good concept that you can teach because it just gives you so much more awareness of honestly how this country runs and operates. Because at the end of the day, man, in America, thank God you choose. See, I have a cousin in El Salvador, and some of you guys have heard the story before, but that has his own business. He had his own business. Now, you know, in El Salvador, if there's one thing we don't want to ever be number one in is homicides, and El Salvador took the championship on that. I mean, like, damn, man, we'll be carrying the mantle on that one for years. Number one in homicides. Yeah, we're number one on something at least. Right? Not the best thing to be in number one in. You know that the president celebrated the first day without any reported homicides. It was a celebration in the country. That president is doing such a good job, man. Damn, he's good. But anyways, back to the point. So my cousin, who was in El Salvador, you guys want to mute yourselves, who was in El Salvador, had a business. He had something called the Cyber Cafe. Now, Cyber Cafe, internet's not as common as it is here, you know, back in El Salvador. So people pay for internet. They go in there and they get it done. And he did really well for a couple months. Then he heard a knock on the door late at night. And he's like, ah, who's here this late? And it was gangsters. Now, when you think gangsters here, you know, you think about the kids here wearing baggy jeans and all. No, man, those aren't gangsters. This is just pretenders, you know? I don't know what to even call them. But legit gangsters. Legit gangsters came. And they're like, hey, man, this is a nice business you got. He's like, oh, yeah, thanks. You know, it's awesome, you guys. You know, more than welcome to come in, use it, whatever. He's like, yeah, we were sent here because we need rent. He's like, rent? What you mean, rent? It's like, yeah, for protection. It's like, protection? What do you mean, protection? It's like, yeah, protection, so that way, you know, you're protected. I was like, so, from who, though? It's like, from us. It's like, wait, hold on. So you want me to pay you rent money to protect me from you? It's like, he's like, nah, I'm not doing that, you know? So he just kind of ended it there. A couple weeks later, to send a message, they almost killed one of his employees. And on top of that, they threatened his family and said, hey, man, we know where your kids go to school. We know where your wife works. We know where you live. Just to kind of be like, hey, listen, we know this. So are you going to pay up or not? Guess what my cousin did? He was like, I ain't doing that. He moved, dropped everything, and moved to another part of the country. So see, he wanted to get ahead. But the environment just didn't allow for that. Which is insane to me, man. It's crazy. In America, thank God. Thank God. And I thank my mom so much for bringing me to this country, man. Freaking amazing. You have a choice. You can